What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Sword Art Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Shark. Today I got my co-host and special guest. Say hello, guys.
What is up, people?
Heyo.
So, we got some fun topics today. And especially, I'd like to say a huge welcome to Teion, as I don't know if many of you have noticed, but she is our new admin. So, big congrats to her for that.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people noticed. Everyone's celebrating the Discord.
Right? So now
I think most common comment was they thought Tan was already an admin for some reason.
I saw that. That was strange. I don't know whether to be more flattered or confused.
Why not both?
Right? No kidding. But no, so now that you're admin, what are you gonna do next?
Oh god.
Didn't he well?
Bingo. That's exactly what I was looking for.
I wish, man. Disney World. No, I'm not Jome.
The Germany isn't Disney World right now.
That lucky punk.
Definitely taking less of a hands-on approach on stuff. I'm not, although I was involved a lot in the Labyrinth Guardian development and the boss development for this floor and such. I'm not going to be running either of those, so I'm definitely taking a step back from all that. I do know in the council fight, I definitely overwhelmed myself by being the only person to be touching that. And that was kind of crazy. So I'm trying to right now look at just some like organizational stuff. I'm also still getting used to um a lot of it, but I mean, I don't know, nothing huge planned right now.
It's bound to happen. You know, you get thrown into position. Next thing you know, it's a new world. You see a new light.
It's a lot like switching from when we first did the staff like position changes and stuff when we created like the content dev and floor dev, systems devs, like all those different separations, because before that everybody was either just like a PST or a game master. So it's kind of like when that whole when all those branches came to be, moving from PST to being a systems staff member was really different.
Yeah, it's what are your first takes now that you've actually had some time in the position?
I'm getting a surprising new perspective on a lot of things. It's It's definitely a lot easier to see things, I think, in the way that you have seen them. It is like being on the other side of the fence. So I'm trying to take my previous experiences being um, how I've been on staff before, and then seeing things from your position, from an admin position, and just kind of trying to see where I can make things work and like where the best compromises are for certain things.
Yep. So completely relatable. I know when I was thrown in the position about 4 years ago. That's I was in the same place.
Hmm.
So we got a lot of fun stuff today. I think that's an action-packed doc.
Well, hopefully it is.
So I don't know if has Neo posted a weekly link this week, or is that tonight?
Neo's not done a weekly link as my knowledge for like the last 2 weeks maybe, and that's because of it's the holiday season. You can't. Yeah, people are usually busy around this time.
Right. Oh yeah, I kind of would think so. Um, what about some upcoming quests and events?
For the upcoming quests, well, there's nothing like new planned, but we did have F24 come out, so there's quests on there that we can actually talk about without being to the highest level of being vague. So the first one on floor 24, so quest is you're kind of just go in, you fight a thing, you kill it, you get an item. which I think is something that anyone would want if they're just a DPS. 'Cause it's an item that basically gives you phase, apparently, on the critical hits. So that's pretty good.
Nice. That actually sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, basically the quest is that you fight what's meant to be the biggest, scariest creature in the NPC's Coliseum, which on F24.
Is there anything that players should look out for that, or
Do, 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 do.
anything we can tease them a bit?
So I'm pretty fast. The thing is that the Rhinoceros does have the whole phase kind of theme towards it. It is basically it's meant to be dealing more crits more often, so it does get a crit on 8 through 10, and when it crits, it does phase.
Okay. Interesting.
And for mech, when you have a phase item and you use the consumable from the quest, the phase now applies to the block skill also, since apparently phase is not cut through block.
Tay, what are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting. Phase has always been a really specific enhancement. It is essentially useless if you are farming on your own because at the moment, loot minimum mobs don't require to, um, yeah, right. It's just HP and damage. They don't even require to have any minute. So unless you're going after a quest monster or you're going into a boss that you know or have a good hunch has a high amount of mitigation, it's situational. So having something that you said it'll stack on top of if somebody happens to have a phase sword or something, in that it'll just add block to what is cut through. Is that right?
Basically, the regular phase doesn't include cutting through the block skill,
Right.
so the consumable allows you to do that.
Okay, but it doesn't add additional.
No, 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 doesn't do that.
Okay, that's interesting, and again, also situational. Of course, that would obviously be useful in PvP going up against somebody with that skill. And actually, that'd be interesting to see if that manages to squeeze its way into your tournament. Um, but otherwise, yeah, that would have to be pretty specific against a monster that's designed that points it out that it has that kind of mitigation coming from something like that that could be countered.
Um. So yeah, it looks like we kind of hit all the points on the new quest. Any lasting comments?
There was one more quest to F24.
Okay, go.
There was
What was that one?
there was one that Hikaru wanted me to call a new breed of quest. It's called Incognito Antics. And first of all, I know this was a question in the Ask staff when it first came out. People were wondering why you'd get more SP when you fail. And the reason is that Hikaru's planning a sequel, so the idea is you win, you get smaller SP, but more long-lasting reward by doing both of the quests. Meanwhile, if you lose, it doesn't want to be a absolute failure and seen as a waste of time on the player's part. So that's why you get a bit more SP to that to make it a nice little comfort bed.
Interesting.
And basically, the quest is: have you played Assassin's Creed? You've done this quest. That's what it feels like. Because you basically do follow someone, and you gotta do stealth checks versus their searching checks.
That's gonna be some fun. Can't wait to see some role plays there. Tay, you have anything to say on that previous quest?
I actually haven't looked too much at the first iteration of the quest that's come out. I'm definitely not doing any quests of my own anytime soon. Um, but it's I knew that there was going to be more in the wings for that one. Hence why it had a couple of different rewards options. Um, I mean, I always like that stuff. Chain quests are pretty cool, and they can open up a lot of doors. So I'm excited to see if it comes out with if it's just going to be the one continuation. If we're gonna see any more of that, I'm not sure what all is planned for that, but chain quests are pretty neat.
Nice. Yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna have so much fun doing that. What about some old quests? I know we were going through and touching base with quest rewrites um for some upcoming changes. But going up along updates on quests, what's going on there?
The first one that comes to mind that'll probably be more immediate is second lessons. And that's because of a 2.6 patch that came out. Safeguard's dead, and so is God.
Rest in peace.
That yeah, I mean that's just gonna be a minor tweak right now. It's not affecting a whole lot because the item is strictly only able to be used in the next quest, but those are meant to be a tutorial of sorts. So phasing out that item is definitely. I'm not sure if we'll end up replacing it or the whole quest chain might get rewritten and updated to better serve as a tutorial for how the game is right now, or if it'll just be a quick hotfix to take the.
Yeah.
Alternatively also for quest rewrites, I know Neo has been working on either a revamp, an update, some edits to the feeding the enemy quest.
Hmm.
I don't know
Oh
if you've
yeah.
heard much. I was gonna say I don't know if you've heard much about that, Hestia.
It's hard to hear things when you can't see content, chat. But I've heard inklings from this things leaking into the general discussions that we have. And I'm actually kind of curious how that's going to work out. I'm actually excited to see if those changes come in place and how people view that.
Yeah, definitely gonna be interesting seeing how things come into play once they get rolled out and people start undergoing those newly updated quests. So what would players like to see in some upcoming quests, or what do we have any in progress?
But when you say when players want to see, that's more of a, hey, chat! Yeah, but if you guys,
Well,
uh,
speaking from a player's perspective, because I know you and Teion still roleplay.
oh heck,
Like in
I
terms of
do.
character progression for you guys, is there anything that would be interesting to have for maybe some upcoming quests that could be some good ideas?
When it comes to things like character progression for Hestia, it's primarily player driven at the moment, because I'm basically doing two things, I guess I'll say, for like things I can control in the form of I eventually want Hestia to become like a little music singer in Aincrad. So I need to eventually get off my butt and do like open threads of just concerts or some stuff like that. The other one is the one I talked about last month on the podcast, which is Hestia's little police force,
Yeah, it's gonna be
which was
interesting.
seen in the Christmas event this year.
Go
Oh man.
real quick, going back to that quest that Hick was making, or they're doing that sequel. In the
Yeah.
YouTube chat, he does say, uh, thinking of plans for things that make that quest easier or harder. Like the easier path would to victory would be less rewards. Harder path, you're gonna have greater rewards. Therefore, it's more of a high risk, high reward further down the chain.
Okay.
So that could be actually pretty interesting.
All right.
But yeah. So
Uh,
back to the upcoming quests. Are there any in progress? I think we've got some stuff going on, but I wasn't too sure.
the quests that I know that people are working on, Neo's busy recently, but she is working on having more Herculean labors. And I know there's floor 25, so we can talk a little bit about some of those quests when we get to there. Because I know that Beatbox did tell me a thing you want me to say for floor 25 quests, so there's that.
Okay.
If there's any other quests in the work, I have not asked enough, whether or not no one's not saying anything openly.
Yeah. A lot of this we're trying to kind of trim down on the amount of stuff that we put out just because of the changes that are coming soon. So what about any the current events? I know we've got a couple, like the Labyrinth fight and the Christmas event. You guys care to talk about that?
Well, for the Christmas events, that has basically ended. It is more so a thing on our part to now count every single post out of the 230 plus posts that are in that thread and distribute SP accordingly. So
Gonna be
that's
a lot
gonna
of work.
take a yeah. So basically, combine that with the Christmas season, lay that with a nice going back to school. It's gonna take a while to actually get that done, possibly. And
The Christmas thread was a lot of fun though.
What was your favorite part, Tay?
Oh gosh, oh geez. I mean, and really, I did skim over a lot of it that my because I had one character not doing a whole lot of socializing with everybody I saw, everybody I could see. Um, but I did keep up with poor Pinball.
yeah,
Getting spiked off of a roof and
Oof.
taken into custody.
Well, rip.
That was unfortunate. Hestia, how dare you?
that was not me. That was Itzel.
Eh,
Or so you
I was
say.
not. I was not even part of that conversation until I was like realized, oh, this is happening now.
collusion.
Yeah, no kidding. We're gonna arrest you for conspiracy.
See, I've been found out. I've got police force can't arrest Shark now.
Shark?
Oh man.
They can't even find Shark.
We can't form the most dangerous weapon, Metal Gear.
So, Hestia, what were your takes on the Christmas event?
I was very sparse in that event. Because basically every day I fell asleep. I woke up to 2 new pages being created each day. I couldn't keep up with it.
Oh no. Since I only interacted with like 1 to 2 people exclusively, I can't sit down and read everything that's written in between. But
It's really hard. It is said 230 plus posts.
I mean that's the downfall of large events, seasonal or site-wide open parties and events, especially when you got things like raffles, prize shops, and stuff like that for people to poke their head in and get in. It's gonna be a lot of people. People are probably going to be breaking off into smaller groups as they interact.
Hmm.
uh, any other takes on either the Labyrinth or Christmas event?
For the Labyrinth fight, since we've not touched on that, it's
Oh, go ahead.
how it started was the genius idea by me and Ruby being like, we can take this.
You
And
guys are so dumb.
that's where it went wrong. Because we quickly realized, like, oh, we can't do this. So then Zanja comes in as her own group. So that's where it went
It's
even more wrong.
it's really interesting to see it play out. Because yeah, no, there was the whole scenario with Hestia and Ruby going off on their own and immediately powering through a scouting thread and finding it as quickly as humanly possible. And then it was interesting to see them to watch them pretty much shoot themselves in the foot as they approach the Guardian. And what is it? They kept the first, like, I think 3 rounds that you guys had all to yourself was just Hestia howls. The shamans take away Hestia's hate. Hestia is frustrated and howls again. Rinse and repeat. Meanwhile, Ruby's just trying to punch things and it's not working out too well.
Again, this is why Beatbox had absolute accuracy when he was Beatbox. He can't hit.
Oh man. So it's interesting, and then seeing Xander come in on her own was honestly also a surprise. I think I had seen that Xander was doing a scouting thread. I did not expect it to get finished so quickly because actually I think that thread finished and was locked up before we had gotten the final polish off on the Guardian and we're ready to start the thread up. So we had to make like a slight adjustment to give you guys the rotation that you would have gotten in had we started it on time and such.
Mhm.
Um, and then Shield beat Balder in here to save the day.
Okay. What basically happened was Hugh, Sealed, Balder, and Beat all went into the fight, shouting puns at us.
Oh, you guys deserved it.
Listen,
You
I
deserve all the
know,
puns.
I know it was a bad in-character decision to go into that fight, but by God, did it make sense for Hestia to do that? Because F20, 423 Labyrinth Guardian, Sealed and Hestia did that by themselves, 2 tanks. In-character logic dictates,
Yeah.
in-character logic dictates, like, oh, I now have
Let's
a
do it
DPS friend.
again.
Yeah, I have a DPS friend this time. This should make it so easy. No.
The
Yeah.
lies.
So I am loving seeing the new system play out for the first time. I definitely want to know, once all said and done, and heck, even as it's going, what people think of it. Is it working out nicely? It's the one downside I see so far. It is definitely more time consuming because it is not just something we are handing. We're just like PMing the stats and saying, "Go for it, have fun, guys," and then it's all in the player's hands to run the combat. The idea was to have that mediated by staff, much like the actual floor boss, the raid boss, and that can allow for I think it would allow for more complicated mechanics that we can do a better job in mirroring or giving hints as to what they can expect out of the floor boss, as well as we have more control over what the mini boss, the Guardian, is actually doing. If they have the ability to speak, what they are saying to the players, and therefore drop even more hints, or make it more lore rich and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a a win lose. We get to do more engaging stuff like that, but it draws it out longer, especially with the power curve of this Guardian compared to the last ones. I think, yeah, like Hestia, you said the last ones were pushovers. So
I was only part of the Floor 23 Labyrinth Guardian, so that's all my experiences comparatively. If you want to talk about ones earlier than that, that's more of a Itzel/Sealed question since they're actively a part of that.
Let's see here. What else we got? Any other highlights or whatnot of that raid or of that labyrinth?
Um, it's basically going as well as the Floor 23 boss fight. People being chaos.
So the normal.
Oh yeah, the normal. At least no one's trying to protect the chieftain.
Or so we think.
Okay. If someone like Zudge does that, I'll just die laughing.
We would all be surprised.
The only thing for events that would maybe be talked about is that we have gotten a year-long event idea tossed at us. It's just that we haven't had time to get to it.
Yeah.
But if it does get some like look eyes at it and looked at it to get like possible all the stats and whatnot. That might be something we'll do. So something to keep an eye out, see if it does happen.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll play it by ear. Um, let's go up to upcoming floors. You guys want to talk about those?
Well, there is the floor that Beatbox is doing, floor 25, and which is obviously the big thing of. But be scarred. This is the one. This is the canon thing where floors get stronger. And
So beware.
for quests on this floor, when it comes to it, Beatbox wanted me to say that a few scaly draconic friends might be coming back. So don't worry, Sealed. You have friends soon. And
Oh, no.
and floor 25 is another canon floor that people could easily just Google up and learn about. And the thing about it was that it's in canon. It was meant to be like just a giant maze of a floor, quite literally. So Beatbox said he's gonna be working with that idea of that it is a maze and you can't get lost.
That'll be interesting. That will be quite interesting actually for some people.
When it comes to the idea of people getting lost in a maze, the first thing that comes to mind is the idea of I wonder if that Planet anyone's trying to be a slightly more insane person, or just getting lost forever.
Yeah, it might turn out like the next shark, except his was on his own volition. He didn't get
I
lost.
mean,
He went into hiding.
you did miss how many times in a row?
All of them,
All according to plan.
right?
Oh, according to K-Kaku.
As far as you guys think, he's just a little man who hasn't gained any levels. Comes back, he's the 99 floor boss. Whoops, wasn't supposed to slip that one.
Oh god.
Police, conspiracy, collusion. Sure, how could you?
It happens. You just gotta add that some fun times. You know.
If
Gotta
Shark's
make
the
things
level
interesting.
99, if Shark's the floor 99 boss, is Aaron floor 100?
That's
I thought that was
confidential.
planned.
It's classified.
Oh.
Tay, you can see it in the you can see it in everywhere that everyone else can't.
So, sorry.
That means Tay's now the level 98 boss.
Oh no! What have I done?
And just like that, Floor 97's boss was cited as the HDA guild boss fight. Let's go. Everyone from HDA fighting these front lines. What can go wrong?
Yeah, no kidding. What can go wrong? That's
Everything.
quite the loaded question. And to answer that quick question in the chat, yes, there is a quest, a hidden quest to find the elusive shark. You have to PM me
Yes.
to request it. That's why it's pronounced hidden.
Oh, I thought you were answering the question about the boss being a shark name.
Yeah, come on. That's your boss fight, so like the Sharknado.
Shh! Stop taking my ideas. They're supposed to be
Blame
kept
Seal for
classified
that
on a
one.
need to know basis.
It's just a... Okay, let me.
Wow, Shield, stop guessing content.
Right? No
He's-
kidding. We gotta mute this kid.
He descended to another level. First, he was the seal of the Sultan of spreadsheets. Now he's sealed the Sultan of hacking.
The Sultan of everything. So yeah, that's kind of fun. So let's see here. Anything else we want to talk about the next floor?
That's all that Beatbox gave me to talk about for floor 25. But for floor 24, I am trying to do something with that. It's about going as well as herding cats.
That sounds about right.
I'm trying to do a tournament thing, and I basically said like, you know what? I'm not gonna create a thread for all of this. Y'all just create your own threads. Not one has been made yet.
Hey Hestia, aren't you in the first fight in the tier 3 group?
I actually removed myself from that, and Calyx.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait,
actually,
who are Jome and I fighting then?
Ruby and Strider. Because I realized, oh, there's a perfect set of 4 here. And my win is decided by who first place is. I can work with this.
Okay, I can do this. I can work with that. Ruby and Strider or Hestia and Calra?
No, it's Ruby and Strider or Jome and Tao. This is balanced.
Obviously.
It's about as balanced as any Blizzard game.
I personally appreciate where this scale ended up. Oh,
On face value, it's balanced. A tier 3 person can up with a tier 2 person. At face value, this is balanced.
Yeah, you're right.
Again, the important thing is saying at face value. Who the heck knows?
It's gonna be some fun.
Marble!
I'm surprised that that's still people being kind of hyped for that.
Shout out to Marble, the best ship on this site.
Which is Pinball and Mars. I think the Lemon explained it best. It's like, people don't want the two to kiss, it's the idea of it.
And then I just hear next to me, but what about Rio?
No, it's Rion.
Oh yeah. Rion.
Rion plus Teion.
So much fun we have.
We try to make memes. That's why we have Macrodon.
That is why we have Macrodon. The meme king.
Rees out for Teion.
Yeah, can we get some
Not for long,
Rees in the chat for Teion?
Oh no.
If that actually
I will say it
happens,
is a
I'll love it.
15 caps character limit. So.
Thank you, Macrodon, for testing.
Well, the first one he had when he put the Rees in the Rees upper Teion, it worked, and that's why I mentioned, hey, it's a 15 character limit.
I feel betrayed.
Wait, what?
Right, Khalil?
That sounds like an elven name.
That sounds like I need to.
It very well could be.
Posting.
I mean, I think we all need to get posting at some point. Khalil?
No!
Alright, let's move on. Next topic we have is regarding the boss discussion and stuff like that.
This sounds like your specialty, Teion. You helped design the thing.
Go for it, Tay.
Oof, big oof. Yeah, no, there was some talk earlier. We'd kind of just like shifted off the conversation. The Guardian combat right now is being run differently than the intended change to boss combat. That was still intentional. And I don't know if that is subject to change in the future after this fight. It's the way it's running now is both good and bad. And before I get into and talking about anything about the actual floor boss, ducking back to the Guardian for just a second. Because the whole point of the changes to searching for a labyrinth, before it relied on a singular loot die roll, from one person, that meant that, you were better off just doing one scouting thread, buffing one person's loot die as much as you possibly could, and then power posting until you get that one magic roll. The shift to making it a loot die total, although those numbers are most definitely going to shift for the next floor. I was roughly happy with the number of posts that were required in each of those threads to get to the total. Although yeah, there's nothing that it can't be helped that people are going to power post when a new labyrinth is held out and is on the line. But otherwise, that was it. It's all to promote more people being involved in that process. Um, I'm seeing the Guardian run. It's I'm not I'm not 100% happy with its balance right now. It can feel a bit on the strong side, and I'm not sure if that is simply because the way that the group orders are going, it's allowing for more boss turns. Xandra being her own group and Hestia and Ruby being their own group is I think detrimental to the fight as a whole, just because there's not enough action going in those 1 and 2 players turns to counteract the turn that the boss is getting, and that was intentional. um so it's, I mean, because otherwise what's the point of doing a scouting thread with more than a couple people? The point was to, have a scouting party, do things as a group, and then just to make sure that people weren't getting, extra screwed over. um the have letting other groups come in after the fact and get added onto the fight, but having them swap parties or squish into a single turn rotation and just do what we would be doing for the floor boss rotation, one boss post, everybody goes. um a little counteractive to what we wanted to do there, but again, we'll see how it goes. If it ends up just being like a huge headache, if it's impossible for our active player base and those who feel like they can take on that fight, it might get changed. We'll take the feedback after it's run its course, and I want to see how those systems evolve from that.
When it comes to the want to promote more groups, I think this Labyrinth Guardian promotes it more than the 100 loot die. Because it's sewing, like, you can't do it with just 2 people. You're gonna have a bad time.
You can. You're just in for. You gotta. Again, you have to buff everybody's loot die as much as possible, and it's gonna take a healthy amount of posts. I think every group that did it went over a full 2 pages. I want to say I could be off on that.
Possible.
But post count, I was pretty happy with seeing how many posts it took each group. So it's not like, oh, somebody was getting done with it in 20 posts. That's not what. Even with what I saw was some really good loot die rolls. I think I saw like several 15 to 20s, Hestia, in your group, that just hit the board. I still thought that was okay. Um, and then the floor boss itself, I mean, we've talked a little bit about it, and there's going to be, I think there already have been some hints, and there's likely going to be more as the Guardian fight progresses and once it's finished. You're not only going to be getting probably really you're going to be getting the information on the boss room that is always given after a floor guardian is defeated. And likely there's going to be some more role play hints as to what you guys can expect. So there's not actually a whole lot more I can say um, without that kind of like losing its impact. So you guys know what the terrain of the floor is like. Very A lot of islands, floating islands even, I think, and so. Eh,
From a player perspective, the only thing that could maybe give a hint to people who did research is the fact that the side can keep calling the thing a whirl eater. I don't know if I don't know if that's a mistype. It meant to be like a world thing, or just meant to be whirl.
no, that is how it's written is intended, a Whirl Eater. Um, I'm not too much of a lore buff to explain much more of that off the top of my head. But yeah, if anybody's heard the term before, it was definitely pulled from somewhere.
Yeah, you learn new things
overall,
every day.
yeah, overall seems really interesting. So,
So yeah, so with
yeah,
the
go ahead.
oh sorry, just so with the guardian, the labyrinth searching, and the floor boss, all of these threads and fights and such are gonna be using new rules around them. So this first floor that we're seeing them all play out, we're probably going to be getting a lot of feedback. They're probably going to be making some tweaks. I doubt that everything is perfect as it is in this, first run of it. So let us know what you guys think. While the fight's going on, once it's over, when the boss raid is going, we're open to feedback anytime.
Absolutely. We always take that feedback and use it to improve as we go forward. So any help that you guys give on your thoughts of how something handled, it's a really good help. Any other last comments for the boss discussion?
Nothing's coming to mind.
All right. So I do want to give a huge shout out to Percival, as he's still a monthly donor. So huge support there, and we couldn't be thankful enough. If you're still interested and you don't know anything about donations, go ahead and look into the site. I'm sure there's some links somewhere that, that can be found. If you need more information, go ahead and message a member of the staff, and they'll get you that. Let's see here. Previously, there's been some glorious work done by one of our own community members, Macrodoodle. I'm sure you guys can all see where this is going. But with that being said, we're going to. What do you guys think about watching the video that he made? The site trailer.
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
So let's have some fun, and we'll go over and I will play that for us.
No, you can't, Mac. You are not Kayaba.
Yeah. All right.
You are now the Heathcliff of the Knights of Blood Oath.
All right. Here we go.
リンクスタート
Have you ever wanted to be a hero? Or live a life in a 100-floor castle of culture? Are you prepared to fight with a sword in your hand in the wilderness, your enemy? Roll the dice and see where your fate leads. You could make friends, craft bonds, find a rival, or just have fun. Do it with someone you already know. or live out your adventure in solitude. Hang out with your friends. Make great character progression. Have fun the way you want it. Join an active site with fantastic members and a great community. If you dare step out into the fields of Aincrad, then join SAO-RPG now.
Breaking it down with Smash Mouth.
Oh no!
So, so we
That
were
was
having
my
some fun
roommate.
and talking while you guys were, you know,
Oh,
dilly-dallying and watching that video. So, if that was your first time seeing it or you've seen it previously, what are your thoughts on Macrodoodle's one illustrious trailer there?
We're talking about the amazingness of Lucio breaking it down with Smash Mouth.
Needless to say, we've had some fun.
Yeah, no, that was not my first time seeing it, so I was taking the liberty of some commentary.
Yeah.
If you want to direct this commentary track,
There will be a director's cut, and you will see that later in this episode before we get into the Q&A.
Oh no.
So we're gonna have some fun. I watched it already, and it's fantastic. But no, so what are your guys' thoughts on the on that trailer that Mac made?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's see here. What else we got? Hey, we got frontline status. Where what's going on there?
We are at the 11th Guardian, and the actual, what I think, well, I think it's the actual monster. I can't even tell at this point, since they can summon little minions. It basically has full health.
Oh, the chieftain is it full?
Yeah.
Really?
Basically.
Oh no.
Like at worst, he lost like 2 little green digits. That's
Quick,
all.
tickle it more.
Beat, actually stab it.
Oof.
Yes, that's my one thing I had to talk about it. Like, Beat had one job. He had to stab the chieftain. He stunned the shaman. I get the idea of like this meant to block the heals. That's smart. Hestia could have done that.
I did like some of the banter that I saw going through. I haven't been reading through everything on it, but seeing a lot of the banter, like you said, they pulled out the puns when Shield Balder Hero and beat Screw.
He's just like basically smacking her, being like, everyone's a comedian these days.
Or tries to be,
The
or is offended by one.
the infighting, it's so juicy. Yeah, no, I think we've said just about everything there is to say on just frontline related topics, bosses and such. I don't think anybody else is doing any scouting threads, so we're probably not gonna see anybody else jumping into this fight. I'm interested to see if it's able to be run to completion with this setup. We'll see. Right now, I don't know if it's gonna be a battle of attrition, just trying to power through the healing that the shaman's doing, or
Well, the thing is that there's only one summon left. So as long as Zandra didn't kill it, we can focus the only closest chieftain now, since that summon's the only one left.
yeah, if you have more than one up, you're gonna be having to deal with. I mean, either way, you're having to deal with the healing that'll happen in between. If your guys are stunning it or its natural cooldowns or anything like that. But if you've got more than one up, you're gonna have to be dealing with things like the the arrow, the stat debuff shield, and the hate reduction. So it's just like, how
Have it.
much garbage do you want to have to deal with?
By the way, because of the labyrinth changing rules, I I've changed my build and spent so much coal on that just to get it fixed.
Oh.
I had to actually buy fighting spirit now because of the new hate
Oh
rules,
no.
and also now have rank 5 certs. So I'm now literally everything except a rogue, and I'm also gonna get rank 5 hiding now just for the meme of being everything. You can't stop me.
Can't stop, won't stop. Uh, so any highlights in that so far? Like any big plays?
I think the only thing that counts as a big play is that while I will joke that the end character, I didn't improve of the buttons. Out of character, I loved this Balder, and everyone started being like, you need a hero!
I don't think I would call it a big play, but I vaguely remember something about how like I think it was B-Box made a mistake or something in how he did the set up the dice roll or something. And it had a different target's name in it than what he meant, but
Basically,
but he played it off, and that was kind of, I don't know, I thought that was like funny. It
Hestia's
was
like, okay, Ruby, punch a summon. Ruby talks to Chieftain. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do that, but first, let me punch a Chieftain.
I'm listening to you, I hear you, but
I see a Chieftain. I'm gonna go punch it.
Some fun. Let's see here. So regarding so there's been a lot of role plays over the holiday month from some people. So has there been any highlights of important like threads that you've seen that look interesting or?
I'm first gonna preface this. We can't keep track of every single Fed that exists. So if you guys have any recommendations in the chat, feel free to send them.
haha,
Okay.
Joe Mantel's Christmas thread going on year 2.
Yep, that Christmas Fed you started last year.
I'm so sorry.
And right away, things in the chat. Mio did Finding a Familiar, so he has a Spooter now. And
Yes,
for,
Spider.
and for things related to the Christmas event raffle thing, there was a drawing competition done by our player base. Beautiful. Always had to see people with actual talent drawing something very beautiful.
No,
And along with
has
the
that is that over?
yeah, like basically
Who won?
in theory the event's over. In actuality, technically it's not closed. Wait, Lemmy's asking you, Stark, if you could bust out the art on stream if it's possible.
Let me find the thread. I actually it should be possible.
Nice. Okay,
If anyone
things
has
related
the
to the
link,
Christmas
that would be helpful.
Oh, okay. Let me look at the drawing. Actually, yeah. Basically, for the rest of the Christmas raffle, it was people won some things. The event went on for about 240 plus posts when I wrote down the notes. And for the actual raffle, Neo won a double freeze, one bleed, tier 3 blade. That is a rapier. And Kosai won a Frost Shield with Frost Thorns plus Frost Aura for tier 2. The Reindeer Cloak was won by Jinx, has Vampiric Defense and Evasion that's most likely tier 1. And our boy the Meme King, Macrodon, won a Snow Globe, which has Life Mending and Accuracy that's tier 3. Then we have Misiro winning Christmas Cookies, which were Prosperity and Mitigation. One of the actually newer players whose name is Frank, and his pictures the Drain the Rock Johnson. Won 2 teleportation crystals. Hugin, which is a alt of Dustin, won the Will-O-Wisp familiar, which is, along with being whatever familiar you want it to be, from mitigation to damage to whatever you want. Also gives you a accuracy buff, I believe it was. No, I think it was a loot dice buff.
It was both a 1 loot die when searching for materials, and it also negates any penalties from low lighter.
Hmm. And the last thing was that Faye won a bundle of stuff that she gave to Strider. And the stuff was basically a dungeon map of every tier, like beginner, intermediate, advanced. It had some field rations, water skins, things like that. That was basically the thing for the Christmas raffle. For actual threads, though, F24 has been very scarce with actual threads taking on place on the floor. Like, literally the only threads on that floor were the labyrinth. Anything related to the labyrinth. And then the thread I'm doing with Sealed and Balder, Magredon, and Cowex. Basically, people just sit down, have a nice chat about how things are so messed up on the front lines.
Big oof, and that's not even the raid meeting. I'm gonna love to see how that
Yep.
goes.
Yeah, there was some good artwork done.
I'm looking at it right now because I actually didn't even vote in the drawing competition because I was just spaced out from the site for a long while. It's actually kind of adorable. I love it.
Yeah, it's actually.
Oh yeah, Macrodon officially retired from the front lines in the thread I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that's always a big oof. Ooh, I love that one. Photo 5, I love it. Hmm.
So who ended up winning? I didn't look at that yet.
I didn't look either. Oh, Hikaru, who won? I'm looking at like a photo one that we just passed by, one of the hoodie. The first thing I think of is that looks like Strider's face claim. It's blonde.
Could be.
Did it state who won here?
Photo 5.
Scroll down to photo 5 for us. Just scroll down on the scroll bar. Let's see who the winner was.
That was the winner. Congrats.
Hey, the one I liked. Okay, yeah. For other threads that have started or been completed this month, we had the event boss done by Itchel and Morgenstern finished on the 14th officially this month, where we had someone win. Who won? I don't know anything apparently. I don't know even who won the event items from that. I think Macrodon got one. I'm really bad at this.
It happens.
Besides that, there was the Christmas thread where Pinball got himself arrested. That's first thing that came to my mind because that's everything I pay attention to.
Got himself arrested. Poor.
This is why we don't have PKers in safe zones. They get arrested.
Yeah, don't RP with people, guys. You get arrested.
Listen, in character it makes sense. Out of character, I feel bad for them.
As you drag them off to prison.
I didn't do that. That was Itzel. I just didn't stop him. I'm guilty by association.
You also made the prison.
I don't even have a prison yet. I made a police force, not a
Close
prison.
enough.
I don't have the corridor crystals to send people to prison. Okay, then there was Zandra's open thread that ended after 233 posts in it. So, hey, good job, Zandra. You basically got to the point where you did a staff event in terms of length. That's actually really impressive.
No kidding. Very impressive, actually.
Wait, Nani? Maggie, that's someone in the prison? That's the one thing about this site. Like, you don't even know what's in it and what's not in it. It's so hard to tell. Because people have their, like, own threads where they do their own things, and you can't really be all knowing.
No. That would be metagaming.
What's the point of, like, some people spawn different mobs on different floors. Some people have different ideas of what items are in the game. Like, I know Itzel has his headcanon for, like, his characters that corridor crystals don't exist. But then there's Macadon who just said that he basically used a corridor crystal on some guy. So it's really hard to figure out what's a good, solid things of. This does exist and this follows the canon, but this doesn't.
Yeah, there's stuff about that topic.
Oh yeah, then we have Zandra in chat quoting her own little rap video that she edited.
But I like using the banhammer. It's fun. Let's see here. Any other topics in the month that you wanted to talk about?
I saw that there's a new What We Fight For. Looks at Teion.
Tay.
I see you
What?
created a What We Fight For fed with Balder.
You think that's new?
How old is it?
uh, that was started June 21st.
You know what?
Of
That
what
actually
year?
checks out.
2018.
And it might be finished by the June of 2020.
Ouch.
That's a little generous.
Ouch. My pride.
My Saiyan pride!
My Saiyan pride.
So let's go on to teasing some upcoming projects. Care to give out anything?
Well, we did just make a 2.6, which included the stealth changes, which basically have more damage. Your burst class. There's also changes to some other skills, which were, if I'm not mistaken, I just mispronounced a word. Okay, mistaken. That it included changes to healing, cause a lot of changes, like one of the primary changes in 2.6 were how anything that increased hate got reduced by one, along with the energy costs. So I think that was like the main thing in 2.6. Energy costs and cooldowns slowly coming about, if I'm not wrong. Teion?
Something around there.
Oh yeah, also, Katana got a buff. I bet Baldur's happy about that.
Yeah, all you katana users should be pretty happy.
All you two Katana users.
All two of you.
Rio and Baldur.
Woo! And I guess Lemmy's happy as well for something.
Yeah, the Katana changes were basically most of them
Yeah.
got buffed. All Link 5s got buffed by one, except the stun, which got reduced from 11 to a 9. And also, there was the energy changes. The energy got changed, so it was like basically it costs 19 energy to use the strongest sword out. Now it's only 14 energy. No, it's not. It's 15 from a 14. Okay. I was reading it in reverse. So everything got buffed except the AoE, which got reduced by 1 from a 9 to an 8. I can read. I swear.
You sure?
No.
Oh, good. Because I was gonna say we still need some staff in some areas like lore development. If you have an interest in that, go ahead and contact Morgenstern, and he can fill you in on information regarding that situation. Besides that, systems is another one that could use some additional help. You know, with 3.0 and system mechanics and rewrites and all that fun jazz. So if you're interested in finding out more information about that team, go ahead and contact Itzel. I do try to keep that recruiting thread cleaned up and up to date. So if the team says closed, then we are no longer accepting applications to that team.
Just so we can have a good head start on this. People, if you have questions, please send them in. We'll answer. We do have a Q&A section as per the usual. So if you have a question, type it into chat. We'll write it down. We'll answer it when you get to that point.
And
Also, I'm pretty
yep.
sure we're doing call-ins,
we
right,
are
sorry?
we are gonna still do some call-ins. So if you want to come on the show and ask us some questions or prick our brains, by all means, hop in the call-in section of the Discord. That's in the podcast category. So no, you can sign a blank check. Just send it to Shark at SAO-RPG.com.
That's a new question also that's still posted in the chat, so let's do that.
Yeah, she'll actually start off with that question.
Well, didn't you want to do your special thing here?
We do update. Oh, we do. So there's been a little bit of work done in the Minecraft server. We just actually got Dustin as our new developer. So there's, wow, 2 people jumped in call-ins. Nice. But regarding that, there is still work being done on there. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, go ahead and contact me, and I can help get you that information that you need. Besides that, we don't really advertise much on the site or whatnot, just because I know there's a lot of people that don't like Minecraft. So I try to keep it limited to the specific sections. That way it doesn't get out of hand. And we have one more video. Here, the little disclaimer is it does contain mild language. So if you are sensitive to that stuff, go ahead and mute the stream, and you'll be able to tell when it's over, because I'll switch back to the podcast scene here. So without further ado, let's watch another video. This one, you guys will like this one. I know I enjoyed it. So let's get right into it.
リンクスタート
Have you ever wanted to be a hero? Or live a life in a 100-floor castle of culture? Are you prepared to fight with a sword in your hand in the wilderness, your enemy? You could make friends, craft bonds, find a rival, or just have fun. Do it with someone you already know.
It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
or live out your adventure in solitude. Hang out with your friends. Make great character progression. Have fun the way you want it. Join an active site with fantastic members and a great community. If you dare step out into the fields of Aincrad, then join SAO-RPG now. So what did you guys think about that? Did you see the wonderful teaser in the end of that? Because that was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Why?
Listen, there's nothing wrong with Bitch Lasagna. Subbot!
Alright.
Who's
so-
confused? Who's a confused person?
What?
Heck, when you see people in the chat but you don't know who they are,
Oh.
it's so difficult.
Oh well.
It's the real struggle.
No, so let's go ahead and let's see. Do we want to do the Q&A first, or do we want to bring in our two waiting the call in?
I say let's do the call first, just because of the fact that they're waiting.
All right. Now, do we do? Who came in first? Was it Hick or Morg?
I didn't even notice. But Lemon's now last. So let's do
Lemon's last.
Kroger. It's actually.
All right. Yeah, we'll
Morgan's-
bring in Hickey.
I'm just trying to think like who I've not heard from in a long time. I've never heard Morgenstern's voice.
Hickey.
I think you can unmute yourself, Eric. Boy.
Hickey. He's not server muted, so can
Yeah, he's not 7 minutes. It's by his own accord.
I just shot a message saying, "Hey, don't mute." In the meantime, we can go ahead and answer.
Or just get Morgenstern.
All right. Let's see if Hickey is. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, he's a robot.
Check 1, check 2. Are you a robot?
Check Hickey.
He's dead.
Hickey, I don't think it's gonna work with you, buddy.
Salute the Fallens.
Hello.
There we go.
Oh.
Hey. What
I am
How are you doing, Hickey? Oh.
Ikoru.
All right.
Yeah, I think.
We'll finish
what's
the call and
happening-
we'll revisit that one.
How about Morgenstern this time?
Yeah,
Who's next?
we'll bring in Morg. All right. Hello,
Welcome-
Morg.
Oh, hey.
Welcome to the podcast.
I haven't been able to hear the podcast. One more time?
Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you.
By the
love
way,
being on the
if you have
podcast.
the stream on, Morg, I would recommend muting it. Because we hear double voices.
Okay.
Oh, wow,
Oh.
what's happening?
People have pretty bad connections, it looks like.
Yeah, wow, something's happening.
Yeah, it's getting F in the chat for the Ripperoni there.
Oh no, I'm
Oh.
breaking things.
It's like 50% of the time it works, it feels like.
They're on data.
Oh, that's right. So, Morg,
Yeah, go ahead. You got any questions or something you want us to debate?
It wasn't so much of a question. I wanted to top on the Fallen event that both Itzel and I did.
Oh yeah, go ahead. What's on that?
Well, I didn't get talked much about on the upcoming things and updates. But there is a plan going on for Floor 13 to get revamped and get its very own quest.
Oh, okay. That floor does need some love.
Yeah, it does.
We do plan on hoping to get it out with the patch. I'm trying to get the rest of the looks at it and make sure it's all good to go. But basically, if you look at the current floor descriptions, floor basically has this is what it is. That's it. I don't even really think, other than Angel's Point, that there's any settlements or anything. But
Floors 11 through 16 were very roughly handled.
Yeah, no, we're trying to get the floor development team. We're trying to get that fixed. I believe I have Lemon on that right now to give a little bit more love to these.
Hmm.
That's good. So they are being worked on, which is good.
Yeah. Those.
The
What's the problem?
Oh, I was just gonna say there's probably gonna be even more added once 3.0 comes around. I'm gonna tell them we're just trying to give a little bit more.
Okay.
Sealed. Floor 15 needs more hate. Let's see, if you want to give Floor 15 more hate, summon demons. That usually works.
Yeah, no kidding. Anything else you want to talk about there, Morg?
We'll just add a bunch of Mirror.
Yeah, right.
Well, Floor 13's quest that was developed, I believe it's not exactly as unique as Hikura's quest for Floor 24, but it does have its own unique perspective in the fact that the ending and what boss you can fight can change on the roll of a dice.
That's kind of curious. I'm actually kind of curious about that.
Well, basically, it's not affected by scouts or scouts search and detect or whatever it's called now. I think it's just called search or loot dice bonuses. But according to the loot dice, there's like 4 boxes and 1 side box. It's very rare to encounter. It's not actually really part of the. But based on your loot dice, you can fight one of 4 bosses at the end once you get to like the quest location.
So there's 4 bosses and there's 1 kind of side boss you mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, players that were involved with the Fallen event might be quite happy to find, or quite not, you never know, but they might be happy to find that there is plenty of references to that event itself.
Oh no. So much stuff. Pepperoni spaghetti.
Yeah, no kidding. Anything else there, Morg?
Not really.
All right. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next caller.
Thanks for the call in, Morg.
All
Morg,
right.
we appreciate it.
No
Thanks
problem.
for coming on the podcast.
All right. Bye.
Aaron being a meme lord. Floor 42 boss. A Rastafarian bear. No boar.
Yeah. All right. Higgy says he should be better, so we'll find out. Set it on 4G. And should have better connection there. Oh, he moved.
Sealed mentioned that when you join this chat, you can't access the unmute button.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hello.
Hickey!
Oh, you sound much better.
I know.
So,
So, hey.
what's
Beautiful, beautiful.
welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Hi, how's it going?
Good.
So, what would you want to talk about?
You know, people are going to be surprised that I'm saying this. And I think Shark was probably a bit surprised when he asked me. Hestia, this is specifically to you. Okay.
Oh no.
What do we think about giving stealth a debuff, such as a drawback to when you use it?
Wait. He what?
Speechless.
Yeah. Because as I see it now, it's the person that's been using stealth the longest on site that's still alive and active with the same character. Talking specifically to you about that, Lemon. Stealth has become too powerful, and even I can see that. It is now the new meta. It is now OP.
By the way, Hick, Seal is asking you to mute the stream in the background because he can hear it.
You know what?
The stream.
Yeah,
If you're
the
playing the stream in the
stream's in the
background, he can
background.
hear it.
I'm not playing the stream in the background.
Oh, is
Oh,
that
it's-
just the people?
It's just my parents.
Oh, okay. Seal follows the stream.
Alright,
Yeah, sorry.
continue.
Continue
But,
on.
But I don't know what we could do for a debuff. But as I've been listening to stream and just kind of thinking about things, because I knew the Q&A was coming, that really came to light as we were talking about the patches. And it's, I won't lie, there is a little bit of a power thing that I like. I'm a little bit power hungry. So when Stealth came out, all the new debuffs, plus 2 damage and everything, I was like, oh yeah, this is great, this is awesome. But as it's happened now, and as I sit back and really look at it, not from a player perspective, but from a staff perspective, I really think we need to give it some sort of debuff. A drawback to when you use it of some sorts. I don't know how we could do it. It's definitely going to need more talk about it, but I definitely wanted your input on that.
I'm fine with the idea of giving it a debuff. And basically, Mevdon's basically suggesting just like the damage buff was very unneeded.
Oh, it was very much unneeded. It's nice, but it's completely unneeded.
Yeah, we might have to revisit that topic later in chat.
But also, good to talk to you guys. It's been fun listening in. And I just want to say hi to everyone. Thank you all for choosing us as your staff, trusting us with everything like this. And, I hope as the creator of a lot of the quests and everything that have been going out, plus this Christmas event with me, Cozy, and Axe, we all are glad that you guys enjoyed your time there, had fun with that. We really hope we can do more with Benny and his little sidekick. We really enjoyed making those characters, and we're thinking about bringing them back possibly for a future event. So stay tuned. But if you guys have any comments or concerns, I'll definitely take them in for consideration. But I just want to put that out there. Like, thank you for giving us the chance to do something.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. Well, Hick, I'd like to thank you for coming on. Do you have anything else?
Hey, not a problem. Love you guys. Hoping your day is good. Hoping you guys are enjoying the podcast. And if you need me, you won't see me, but I'll be around probably because I'm in college right now. Plus, travels and everything. So that's probably where I'm at. So just shine a light, and I'll probably show up somewhere.
All right. Well, Hick, I'd like to thank you for your time and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right. See you guys later.
Yep, take care.
Sayonara.
Alright, so looks like next we're bringing in is Lemmy.
The king of talk last podcast.
No kidding. Hey, Lemmy,
Oh.
welcome to the podcast.
Oh, hello.
Hey Lem, how you doing?
Doing grand. Glad to be back.
As always, wonderful to have you on.
So what's the talk this time, Lem?
The talk this time is a combination of mostly on the floor descriptions. Because as much fun as I'm going to first talk about floor 11 because floor 11 is of course the canonical floor of Taft.
Oh yeah, but by the way, Lem, you joined staff since last month. So hey, welcome to staff.
Oh yeah, Lemmy is
Yeah.
on our staff team now, so
I'm
Let's
now
get
a
a
content
congrats
development.
to
And
him.
yay! On top of being content development, I am currently running the Labyrinth boss fight as it stands. And there is a lot of stuff I would like to change with it. There's like a few things I want to like add. Like everyone who like runs an event or a boss, they see things that are happening. They're like, "Ugh, I really want to change that." But it's like, oh man, I wonder if I can make it do like this. But the problem with that is like if I change too much of it, then either players will get upset that I'm changing it too much, because I feel like this boss fight is completely handleable by a party of 3 people. I feel like group 3 currently of Hero, Balder, Shield, and Beat could solo this. By the group C by themselves could easily solo it. I feel like if Hestia, Ruby, and Xandra were together in a party, they could also complete it. Looking back on it, the 500 HP regen every other turn is a bit much. And I'm more than happy to like say like, oh, they're starting to get tired or something, and then it'll drop or whatever. But it's like one of those things of like, if I nerf anything on the boss fight, it'll be like taken as like, you're making it easy for us. Stop that. And I'm like, I just want it to get over with. Because we're already on page 3, and the boss has been taken down 3 little ticks. And that's like, and then like on his next turn, unless someone slaps him for it, he's gonna refill those 3 ticks, and it's just gonna become a cluster frick of just people trying to just slap him silly.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah. So anyway, back on flora descriptions. As much fun as Taft is being canonical floor, research for information on Taft, to make it as close as canon as possible, is literally the worst thing I've ever done in my life. It appeared in the anime for like, I want to say like 3 to 4 episodes.
I think it was like 2.5 or 3.
Yeah, and then like afterwards, it's the cathedral square is a big flat brown square with like a single clock tower on it, and then the rest of the buildings around it are bland AF. And there's like no other information on it. Like on the wiki, it says like one of its notable locations is a sewer grate.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it's like literally, it is literally the most boring and bland of floors I could ever see. And it is, the floor description for floor 11 really needs some desperate work. Because it says here on the sentence that I'm reading that Taft is populated by many NPC at with the caret pound trademark S and different sizes of buildings.
Is that for our site or the wiki?
That is from our site.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Because since it was made in 2014, it has suffered the great unformat that happened. Like I believe it was 2016. It happened 2016, 2015. That happened where a bunch of formatting on old threads just got completely kerfuffled.
I see it, dear God, what?
Yep. And it is, I think it is the most, I think it is the shortest. No, I lied. That's 12. Good Lord, I have my work cut out for me. But no, yeah, floor 11, I'm taking some creative liberties for. It's, because it says a Southern European city, and it's just like stone floor streets, upper housing, and terra firma. I'm like, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of floor 11 of Taft is like a Venice looking sort of place. So it has its big circular fairgrounds, big old flat brown grayish bland land, canonical, with its clock tower cathedral in the middle, which then on like the porch of the cathedral is the teleport circle pad thing, where players spawn in at. And then around that is just like really tall, really thin looking buildings, which is reminiscent of Venice itself. And there are bridges that it's just basically a village that is like on a lake or like connected to a small ocean or a big lake, which is just really salty. Something of the like. It's just like it's I want to take all of these old floors that have nothing really going for them to make them a little bit more presentable and a little bit more unique as opposed to it, because as Taft currently is, it's basically just floor 1 but with a sewer grate.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be interesting there.
It's floor 12. Like floor 12 is swamp, like, and it's got zombies in it. The deer zombies are like the highlight of the career right there. It's just like they're so stupid in my eyes. I want to keep them. Like what do we got here in floor 12, Judas? Oh, over here we got ourselves some alligators and some deer zombies. For those who didn't know. Okay, hit.
They're real southern like.
Yeah, all southern like up on her. Me and my Midwestern accent say howdy doody.
Yes, hello McCree, how you doing?
Doing fine. Floor 13, I believe, received like the most love. And it's going to be the easiest to change or fix or revamp to meet the current one. The current like posting thing of
Oh yeah, floor 15 is real nice. It has
Yeah.
actually it has the most work done to it compared to 11 through 16.
I feel like floor 13 is suffering from floor 4 syndrome, which is that it's such a popular floor with the like world's most exaggerated air quotations that everything just kind of happens on that floor because floor 13 is like what is it it's the graveyard floor and it's all edgy and ghosts and it's the Halloween town of floors, so it's that one world in Kingdom Hearts where everyone gets excited to go, but then and then everyone goes to that floor, and then that floor just becomes like, oh man, floor 13 again, who would have thought? It's like every Christmas event being held on floor 4. It's like every Valentine's Day event being held on, like, I don't know, what's a lovey-dovey floor?
11, technically, if you want to be.
11.
It's like Venice.
Mm-hmm. The year before last was floor 4? That's the see what I mean? It's like floor 4, unfortunately, just keeps getting like slapped over and over again with quests, events, threads in general, just because it's a snow-filled floor.
You
And
cover
I
a
know,
lot of holidays.
yeah, and I know that people have snow in other parts of the world, and I don't understand why people have such an obsession with so much of it. It's like I love snow as much as the next
childhood
guy.
wonder.
Childhood wonder is great until you actually live in like a foot of snow, and then it becomes the worst thing you've ever experienced. And it's like
So
moving
true.
moving from Missouri to Vegas, in Nevada. It's a big climate change for me from floor 4 to floor 5, essentially. And I like floor 5. I like the fact that it is indeed a desert, but it's like Arabian Nighty, kind of like Aladdin, where it has. I feel like it could use more Aladdin-esque, more Arabian Nighty sort of quests, because currently I think most of the quests for floor 5 involve giant sand doomy monsters like the like Dom's quest, which is the
Sand sharks and
yeah,
a giant
like sand
Egyptian.
sharks, worms,
There was the Egyptian god
legends.
Bastek, I think it's called. It's basically alligator dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Renekton from League of Legends making a cameo.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Mm,
I was mostly thinking of the Egyptian alligator god dude.
unfortunately.
Also, the fact when we did this southern thing, he's like, "Is that a bayou, man? Not a swamp."
Is it a bayou? Yeah. Out on the bayou.
We're gonna bayou.
Yeah.
Anything
Go
else,
back. Well, then,
Lemon?
other than that, no.
All right. Well, we can and get to the Q&As.
Yeah.
So, Lemon, I'd like to thank you for your time on the podcast, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You enjoy it.
Stay safe, Lemon.
uh,
What beautiful English.
right. Our first question that came through was from Shield. He says, wasn't the concept behind the boss combat going to be that bosses only get one turn and players act on their own will or on their own all at once?
That was basically the question thing of what was the decision behind choosing the current labyrinth fighting format.
Yeah, we talked about that already.
I know.
I mean, I can reiterate that is the concept going into the floor boss raids. I don't know if we're going to see this one, how we're handling the Guardian right now change to also fit that new format. But right now, yeah, going into it, the Guardian is purposefully using the old rotation mechanics, um, both to kind of like to promote that same teamwork for that we see in the new way of handling the scouting threads, um, and because otherwise it's a little bit counteractive of that whole setup. If you can just have people completing other scouting threads and then jumping in and they're all in the same not even that they're all in the same team, but it's boss and then everybody else participating in the fight. Um, it's it doesn't. Trying to think of the best way to say that. Right now, there's a bit of punishment going on for having a group of one person, a group of two people, in that the boss is getting more abilities to happen more often. And if we didn't do that, if we use the new raid rotation mechanic for that, we wouldn't see that. And I kind of like the concept, so we'll continue to see how it goes. But how this is running right now is as intended.
All right. The next question that was from Aaron in the Discord. And for those of you who don't know, Aaron is our illustrious leader and commander in chief and all that. Those
He's a
fun leading
memer.
titles. He he pays for this everything and keeps the lights on. So without him, we wouldn't have a site. But his question was from the Discord channel, and he says, "When will we have dragon swords, dragon summon swords like Genji from Overwatch?" Aaron, you are okay to have whatever sword you want to have.
When we get dragon summoning bows,
The rest
but
of
like
you,
Hanzo.
you know,
Excuse me, that's classified?
have fun. You can try to find it, but
Have fun finding that
it's gonna be
unique
about
skill.
as hard to find as Shark.
So messaging you about it and getting a quest for it.
Which you can also, yeah, pretty much. It's another hidden quest. It could be a goose chase, but you never know until you try.
Oh man, that sounds like all the unique skills.
All of them in one. The last question that I caught is from Shield as well, and it was list what each staff position entails. So
Let's start with the highest command-in-chief, admin.
yeah. So what Tan and I do is pretty much are managing all the staff teams and making sure that they're getting their work done and this, that, and the other being the fact that we have to make sure everything is up to date, uh, pretty much make sure everything is accounted for. So anything that the GMs or lower teams do, anything that they don't do is where admins come in. So if there's debates and we can't reach a decision, then the admins will get together and make a final verdict over the way a situation is handled.
And so it says the ones we were advertising, not all of them. So that's the system and floor stuff.
Yep. So let's see here. So it's the general group for that is they're called content devs for obvious reasons. So because I was too lazy to make another group on the site, as they do take up space on the server. So with floor team, they of course are going to do all your floor development and whatnot. So anywhere from making bosses to making floors, even the lore behind the floors, and then quests and events. That's all on them. The other team would be the plot team, which is a sub team. Currently, we don't have anyone on it as it was kind of benched due to inactivity. But they were pretty much the ones that manage all the plots of the site, creating, leading, you name it, anything plot related in terms of like quests and all that fun stuff.
They were in charge of the mystery murder thing.
That would be plot team.
Yep.
So systems and clarification team. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can guess what that is from what the name entails. But they're gonna be ones who are doing all the site mechanics and balancing and making sure all the numbers add up and there's no overpowered or neglected items, or you know, everything mechanic wise, from ranging from combat to finding your familiar to rolling all those dice, and making sure all the guides are up to date and actually rolling those out. Did I miss anything with the systems there?
I think a more important thing is just mentioning specifically what they're doing at the moment. That way they can know what they'd be applying for and what they would be expecting. So Tay, as a recent person who probably has seen lots of systems stuff and what they're actually doing, um, do you know what's their priorities at the moment?
Um, I mean, Itzel and Pag are our only people on strictly on the systems team right now, and I know Pag himself is pretty much stretched thin because he is also um, doing 3.0 development. I believe he was actually temporary lead of that while Itzel was on break. So it's hard to say like if that would be the whole systems team's priority. um Anybody from staff is permitted to be involved in 3.0's development. um you know, we're gonna be, we have everything out there for staff members to help us with reviewing and developing and getting certain portions of it finished. I actually spoke with them recently about blocking things out into larger patches as opposed to basically like kind of reevaluating how we're looking at 3.0 and how we can really get the ball rolling and get some stuff dropped. What can be blocked out and released on its own. Um, so as far as systems, if somebody has the interest in diving into that, that is probably where someone could expect to start putting some work into, is going over those newer systems or tweaks to original system. Otherwise, I mean, there's plenty in the current guide that could be did. We definitely don't have a lack of things on a to-do list for a systems team member. So if that's just going in and cleaning up some inconsistencies in current quests, like we mentioned earlier in the podcast, how the lessons quests are probably going to get hot fixed to at the least phase out the safeguard enhancement from those. At the most, maybe a full rework is in order to for them to better serve as a tutorial. Stuff like that. It can be something starting small where you're just taking a look at the rules and cleaning up some old outdated information, or maybe you want to get really into like numbers, systems, and mechanics, and maybe help work on 3.0 stuff.
Yeah, Tan couldn't have said it any better. So yeah, if those interest you, then go ahead and get in contact with us and send an application. I'll actually put the link to all that stuff in the chat.
By the way, Seal brought up an idea that I did love the idea of. Just like getting like a general, like big site-wide timeline of kind of things, of events that would be noticeable enough to where it could have just be like well known for like common people, like in the world type of deal. Just so everyone just has like a common idea of these things happened, so they at least not feel totally out of the loop about some things.
But yeah, we still have one more staff team to talk about, and that is the player support team.
Yes, hello, I'm the GM of that.
Yep, Hestia is the lead of that team. So what they do is pretty much they're the police force of the site. Make sure everyone's doing what they should, not breaking the rules, and they do the threat evaluations and journal evals and craft evals and all that fun stuff. And they solve player issues. If there's heat between a couple players, and PSD would come in and solve that. Hestia, you want to tell more about what your team's doing?
Well, you did pretty good. Basically, my team does do a whole. We handle evals of players, be it anything from journals to crafting to housing, basically anything about that. And we try to be civil most of the time. I will not. I for apologizing in advance and for everything I've said or done that wasn't that way. I know that's an issue of mine sometimes. I can't be civil sometimes. So I'm gonna apologize to like Orikawa and Sealed when they brought up that thing. And I guess Dom by proxy. And yeah, we do try to settle any player disputes among each other if that does occur. And along with this, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Basically, my team can basically has been able to handle itself very well with just only 3 people and myself. So we do is kind of just bleed over into other staff teams if they require help. We kind of just like, oh, you need help? We're willing to help you out
Yeah,
with staff
they
work
do
to
get a
player
lot
stuff.
of open time, so it's helpful. Uh, but yeah, that's it for the site staff. The other staff that I mentioned is for the Minecraft server. If you want to know more about that, then go ahead and contact me. I don't know if anyone else in this stream wants to hear about that. They might not be interested, but if you guys want to hear that, I can talk about it. If not, then go ahead and send me a message on Discord or the site, and I can surely answer those questions about that server staff. Next question was, why did you decide to buff stealth more combat when it's a utility skill?
That's from Zanja.
Oh. Well, then there's your question.
I was not really part of the conversation, I think. Because I think that was part of the 2.6 update, which I did have to approve, so I did look at beforehand. And if they,
Stealth
yeah.
is categorized as a utility skill, but it has little to no practical use right now as a utility skill, I would say. And I mean, perhaps that's us going about it the wrong way. Maybe we should be focusing on incorporating stealth more in as a way to tackle a quest, or something else, rather than giving it so much for combat abilities. But since we had previously given it combat abilities, surprise attack has been around for forever, I think, a really long time at least. And then in previous patches, we added in some newer mods to try and basically just make it a viable build path. You have somebody like Hikaru who relies on it, although he does have a unique skill to push even farther in that direction. There has been other interest in a stealth or a rogue or like an assassin type build that is different enough from your normal DPS that we wanted to kind of just like nudge that option along. But I can see how it backfired a little bit. I never intended for stealth to become the meta. I didn't want people to, like, everybody to um have no reason not to pick up stealth, because it's a free damage buff. I wanted it to be like a dedicated buff, but with just the one skill and a handful of mods. It's not in a place that I wanted to see it right now. So I think we are following up with some tweaks to it. But that's my reasoning behind why stealth has so many combat related mods and stuff on it.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add to that.
Okay. So then, the next question was, is there an open, from Shield, is there an open line of communication to the plot team? So if players do something significant on the site, they can submit it to the plot team, just so we can keep continuity of major player activity. I mean, I wouldn't
That was the
say
thing I mentioned
no,
that Steel
but
talked about. Technically, it's more so less plotting, more so just send it to staff kind of thing.
Yeah, with how staff setup changed recently, we did lose Aerith and Lessa, who were primarily who worked on plot team. Spencer as well switched over, to avoid being the sole member, sole remaining member. So right as of right now, the plot team itself is essentially dissolved. Although we do have Morgenstern acting as lead. If we have applicants, we are still willing uh, to recognize that as a new team and see either new people joining it, or staff pitching ideas for it, anything like that. So, strictly the question, I would say not exactly, but it would be a line of communication to staff in general. And then if somebody, Morgenstern or anybody else, wants to step up or switch teams even and take on more of the storylines and event threads and such that plot team was in charge of, I think it would kind of go from there.
Okay.
That's my take on it. I'm not sure how involved Morgenstern can or, wants to or has time to be involved in plot teams management, or that's just going to kind of be like a group effort on staff.
Currently the way I have it set is Morgenstern is like the point person for that, but since there's no uh, actual team members for that specific sub team, then it just becomes a floor dev team and task. So however they want to
Right.
deal with it, they can.
I
But
think it should be
yeah.
more so just if I have my own idea of how it should be done. This idea of like anyone in staff could like promote the idea of a plot, and then that way it can at least be spread over by different staff people who will have the time to run it. And that's the dedication if they actually create a plot for the whole thing. Usually, if you create the thing, you have a lot of energy for it.
Right. So I mean, if you guys have ideas for plots, go ahead and send them our way, and we'll try to work them out. If you want to join plot and take control of your idea, then go ahead and let us know, and we can definitely see what we can do there. Is there any last questions, comments, debates?
And while we wait to see if that does occur, how you guys can spend the rest of your day?
Uh, rest of my day, I've got some programming stuff to do. Gotta build a firewall, and besides that, edit this video and upload it to YouTube.
How about you, Tay?
Man, I got housework to do. I rolled out of bed, got on the podcast. I'm starting my Saturday earlier than I normally do ever.
I mean, it's only once a month.
My my plan is just to watch a anime movie called When Marnie Was There.
I've heard of that.
I only heard of it because I was watching a video before this by the Anime Man.
Give us your official review. Somewhere. I don't know.
I'll send it into our Discord chat / general chat if you want.
Yeah, we can do that.
I expect a formal review.
Okay.
20-page essay.
Make a vlog about it.
Well, I think that'd be enough time for the podcast to catch up. So I don't think there's any more questions.
I don't think so. I even turned down the delay too, so I think it's only like a 3-second delay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty quick. I don't have anything else. I've pretty much said anything relevant that I have to say. So if no more questions.
Alright, Hestia,
Yes,
you got
you.
anything else?
We're meeting you. Let me check my notes. See if I forgot anything. Nah, didn't forget anything.
Alright. Well, I'd like to thank you all for tuning into the podcast, and we completely... Oh, never mind. We got one more question that came from the YouTube channel. Favorite Pokemon for all of us is from request from Axios.
I have a tie between two of them. There's either the male Pyroar, definitely no bias because of my familiar, and then there's the Arcanine.
Nice.
Because dogs are the best.
Also,
also,
is pretty cool.
Also, just have I don't know why, but if it's a fire type Pokemon, I just love it. I have a affinity of fire types. If I was a gym leader, that'd be me. I'd be the fire type gym leader.
Yeah, you would.
I'd probably be the
I
water
can't tell if
electric type.
you're saying that jokingly, Tam, or if you think like, nah, that makes sense for his personality. I can't tell what you're going for.
I can see it.
Hestia's
Just
playing.
like your masked character pitch.
Oh, listen, just because I love fire. Yeah, basically, Masks is a superhero D&D where you get superpowers, not just the power of fire.
I would have to say mine's probably Squirtle. Just because, you know,
Ooh,
I
a
was...
classic.
Well, yeah, I'm totally not up to date with Pokemon. I stopped after Sinnoh.
Okay.
So I'm biased to the, you know, Kanto Johto region.
Gen 1.
Shield, yes, people can still call in. Go for it. We'll take one more.
Hugh's favorite is the oh no, I think that's a joke towards you, Sark. But your favorite is Sharpedo, the shark Pokemon.
Yeah, that's another one too.
What about you, Tay?
Drifloon.
Drifloon.
Yeah.
Is it
He's
beneficial?
adorable and steals children.
Wow.
I don't
Alright,
think that's your requirements.
Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your, you know, significant others from Teion.
That's like one of your requirements, man. Like, does it steal children? If it doesn't, don't even talk to me.
Alright, so fun fact, I used to hate Klefki with a burning passion until I found out one minute detail. See, I always thought that it was. So there are some really dumb Pokemon. There's like sentient ice cream. I don't know. So I
Vanillas.
always thought, yeah, I always thought that Klefki was just like a living keyring, and it still kind of is. But I learned a piece of its anatomy that the actual like ring that goes around the key shape of where its face is are two little noodle arms, and he just like he scoops up the keys and like holds them together or something, and for some reason that completely changes my outlook on Klefki, and he's adorable and I love him.
Because it's like little noodle arms.
And we got Shield. We got Shield in the call in.
I sealed. Get back in here.
Hey, Shield, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, hello. It's good to be back. How's everyone doing?
We can't
Hey.
complain.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this is a thought that's based on a conversation that started between Oikawa and I probably about a month or so ago, but it has to do with general like quote unquote class balance. I know there's no actual classes in SAO, but he brought up the idea of balance between the light armor and heavy armor mods, about how one gives you extra mitigation, extra hit points, all this other fancy stuff, and the other one, all it does is give you a single point of evasion and not really a whole lot else. That conversation evolved into a big topic about how kind of the current optimal build in SAO is to be these weird tin can DPS where you're stacked with heavy armor and all the mitigation that comes with it, but have no real penalties to your damage or your DPSing abilities in general. So I guess the thought that kind of came from that was the idea of, if you're investing that heavily into strong defense, having some kind of impact on your offensive capabilities. And that kind of, what reminded me of that was our conversation about stealth. How like at the moment, if you're going into alternate builds, there's nothing that really penalizes you as far as your DPS output, so there's no reason not to just add all these extra things. So I guess that's kind of my thought there, is how would we feel about doing some things with balance where if you're investing into all these little side classes and such, that there's some kind of penalty to your damage output.
The first thing that obviously comes to mind is anyone with who thinks about it too long enough for like a second can easily piece together is heavy armor plus heavy weapons, like two-handed stuff, should not be used in stealth in any manner. So obviously this should be like a penalty for that kind of thing. We're talking about just like something that comes to mind immediately.
I agree with the imbalance between heavy armor and light armor and what they give. Yeah, I think it has been a couple of times that Oika has pointed out to me. Just a straight up list of what you benefit from with heavy armor versus what you benefit from with light armor, and I kind of dropped the ball because I think it was like 2.5 or another update that I was heavily involved in when we saw a lot of armor skill changes go out. And the point was for heavy armor to give more defensive bonuses than light armor did, but we went overboard. And I mean, I don't know. I could hide behind the excuse that like our systems team is really like desperately short staffed, so we hardly have time to get to a lot of updates that need to be done. But that's something that I'm definitely for if we saw better balance between those two skills. And I definitely like that as a suggestion, making heavy armor have maybe some offensive penalties to compensate.
Well, when Oikawa and I were kind of off on our little Discord conversation that lasted for like hours and hours of just theory crafting and all that, what we kind of came up with was we're kind of okay with, maybe light armor being less expensive to buy, but and letting heavy armor keep all their benefits that they get and not adding more benefits that light armor got if we then made it so like you actually lost some base damage because you have less maneuverability because you're an actual bulky armor, or maybe losing some accuracy or something like that. And I think likewise with stealth, I think what I was thinking was like it doesn't make sense for you to sneak and charge at the same time. So you can do stealth, but you can't use the charge skill at the same time. So you can get that damage buff, and that's fine, but you've wasted your opportunity to charge. So it's lower damage for that free hit that you get because you're guaranteed a hit with the stealth mods, basically.
You don't technically need to do charge immediately. You could just like surprise attack from stealth, then charge the next turn.
Well, no, but the idea being that you have to choose, like, because
Oh, I get
otherwise,
you.
then you, otherwise, then you just get 2 special attacks instead of 1, and uh, there's no actual penalty to that other than you can't double stack them, I suppose.
I get you.
Yeah, it's like how the goal for stealth was to kind of push it in a direction where it's a viable build path, whereas what actually happened was now picking up stealth is just the meta for
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
just getting stealth because I find it funny.
Everyone does. I mean, keep in mind, it's been a meme for how long?
I'm funny because I'm just missing stealth because I have everything else. I just need stealth to get every single skill build.
Yeah. Shadowed path.
Shadow doors.
I know. I said it before the doors popped up. Shield, you got anything else there?
No, really the point of calling in was just to kind of pick your brains a little bit and maybe get some balls rolling as far as conversation among the community as to how those kinds of ideas would impact everyone. I know that right now most people have at least some element of DPS in their build, so that's probably going to hurt some people. I know there's going to be some strong feelings, but I kind of wanted to get some feedback from the community and just kind of see how things went. So if there's some good discussion in the comments, great.
Yeah. Feel free to go ahead and type up some kind of proposal or whatnot for that solution, and we can definitely toss out to the community on the site and see what they think.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, man. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, sure thing.
All right. Take care.
All right, bye.
Sayonara.
Let's see here. I think that is about it. If no one else has any final comments, discussions, you name it, then we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping down the stream. Here, you guys got anything?
Nothing comes to mind, but I am curious why Axios asked us about our favorite Pokemon.
Probably just to fill in some blanks. Oh well, just something fun.
I mean, sure enough.
Alright, well, I would love to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode, and I wish you all a happy rest of your day, wherever that may be.
Yeah. Stay safe, everyone.
Yep, stay safe and have a great weekend.
It's 2018!
2019, 2018 is dead. Woo!
Finally.
And now it's the actor.
We're still alive, Teion.
Stop saying finally. Kill me.
So... No one's can hopefully die. That's also beyond the never live like I was saying.
Whatever, it is what it is. What do you guys got today?
My only plan is to just watch the anime movie. The only thing I know about it is that that was the only anime movie that made the anime man cry. So I'm ready for the most train. So yeah, I'm just going to like Discord channel. See the bubble lighting up a lot. It's gonna be like good all of them. Yeah, after I watched your name, I did our Discord channel, just like, oh, it's not really good. Suck.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. And thanks for cheating.
Bye.